Do you understand the importance of keeping silent? Do you have any idea how many people have ruined their lives, their futures, the opportunities they had, or their very dreams simply because they didn't know how to keep their mouths shut? Some get too excited when they're happy, spilling all their plans, sharing every detail of their lives, and then, when things go south, they can't fathom why it all went wrong. Or those who lose their cool in a moment of anger and frustration, saying things they shouldn't. The key to changing this is learning to keep your mouth shut. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We should listen twice as much as we speak. And in today's video, we'll explore practices that will help you grow in silence. But first, I must tell you, this video reached you because someone before you subscribed to our channel. So if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Learn to keep quiet. From the moment we're born, we're encouraged to express ourselves, and our first words are celebrated by our parents or those who become our guardians. However, seldom in life do we learn that silence is also a powerful form of communication. Staying silent can reveal a lot about you, your intentions and your personality, showing respect for people and the environment. This can attract more attention than incessantly talking or trying to convince someone who doesn't want to listen. When you talk too much, especially without purpose or clarity, you diminish your power, and instead of conveying an impression of authority, of someone who masters the subject, you achieve the opposite effect, making others respect and value you less. When you replace the desire to speak with the desire to listen, you'll turn the key for your personal growth to occur. In our social relationships, we can apply Stoic virtues of temperance and wisdom to improve and minimize many of our relationship problems. Consider the case of Carlos and Alex, both salesmen with different approaches. One talks non-stop, and the other prefers to listen more. When a customer enters the store, Carlos immediately attends to them and starts offering discounts the customer didn't even ask for. This results in Carlos earning a smaller commission. Often the customer didn't even want a discount and was ready to buy, but Carlos talks so much that he ends up making the customer give up on the purchase. Alex, on the other hand, knows how to sell more and earn more. He also attends to customers quickly, but does it differently. He listens more and speaks at the right time. Alex asks smart questions to discover what the customer really needs. Thus, he can sell what the customer wants and close many deals. As a salesman, the secret is to talk less and listen more to what the customer wants. Listening more than talking not only benefits sales, but can also be applied to other aspects of our lives. A simple exercise for you to reflect on today. Remember 3 things you've lost in life because you didn't keep your mouth shut, because you could have stayed quiet but couldn't contain yourself. Just as a person develops the habit of talking too much and becomes a compulsive talker, they can develop the habit of learning to listen. How? By speaking less. Stoicism teaches us self-development and mental training so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. For this to happen, you need to become aware that the more you talk, the weaker you become. The more you listen, the stronger you become. For example, if Carlos used temperance, he wouldn't immediately start offering discounts. He would learn to wait a bit to see what the customer really wants before speaking. Temperance is like having a remote control for our reactions. It tells us not to overdo it, neither in speaking too much nor in acting impulsively. And wisdom is like having a map that shows us the best path to follow. It helps us understand when and how to act or speak. Alex is already on this wave. He listens to the customer, asks smart questions, and only then offers what the customer needs. He uses wisdom to understand the right moment to speak. A practical exercise we can do to help us speak less, have temperance, and wisdom is anchoring. Anchoring is a powerful technique for creating and strengthening mental associations between external stimuli and internal responses. If a person is afraid of cockroaches, for example, just hearing the word cockroach can terrify and distress them. This is because they have created a feeling of horror through the word. The same with positive things. Think of chocolate, for example. If you like it, your mouth might have watered just now. This can help us create mental associations that encourage silence. Start by choosing an anchor, whether it's a physical object like a wristband or putting "speak less" on your phone's background. Every time you pick up your phone or look at that wristband, you establish a connection between the anchor and a feeling of silence. This way, you teach your brain to associate this stimulus with a state of calm and silence. Do this several times to get the hang of it. Then, when you're in a conversation and feel the urge to talk too much, use your reminder. This will help you stop, breathe, and choose to listen instead of speaking. Remembering that silence is a powerful form of communication can transform the way you interact with others. In addition to improving your listening, you may find that by speaking less, your words carry more weight and impact when you choose to use them. You'll be surprised to find that the more you listen, the more you can learn and truly connect with others. Always remember this: silence is your first language. Learn to master it. Don't share your plans. Sit here. Let me tell you about my project. Buddy, I'm almost decided to start this and that. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but I'll share it with you. Sharing your dreams and projects before they become reality may seem like a way to seek support and motivation, but it can backfire. Something psychologists have discovered over time is that people who like to talk a lot about their plans before taking action are the ones who accomplish the least of what they had planned. People who announce their plans to start their own business, change habits, write a book, or get a new job often remain stagnant in life for a long time without evolving or achieving anything they had discussed. This is because when we share our goals, our brain releases a satisfaction hormone, and we feel as good as if we had actually achieved them. This can decrease your motivation to really go after it and make it happen. If you want to achieve your goals, keep this information to yourself and focus on taking the first step to realize them. Furthermore, Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Roman emperors and Stoic philosophers, warned us that when we trust someone without first knowing if that person is trustworthy, the mistake of naivety is ours. Sometimes when we share our plans, even unconsciously, people can sabotage us. They may criticize or discourage your ideas, underestimate your ability, or even cruelly point out all your flaws. This often leads us to doubt ourselves, and we easily swap our plans and projects for the negative opinions of others. Understand that it's impossible to grow anywhere in the world without being hated by those who are stationary. When you keep silent, people are left in the dark about your next steps, and no one can sabotage what they don't know exists. Seneca, a statesman and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his letters on friendship about the importance of carefully choosing whom to entrust your dreams. A true friend, according to him, is someone who sincerely roots for your success and with whom you can share your plans without fear. However, not everyone, sometimes even those closest to us, is like this. Hence, the importance of not falling into the trap of naivety and learning to assess the character of those who are worthy of trust. It's wonderful to share when something good happens to us or when we realize a dream, but it's necessary to understand to whom and when you can do this. Your victories will speak for themselves when achieved, and then everyone will know. Therefore, Choose to share your dreams only with those who truly support and encourage you to go further. Keep your opinion to yourself. Stoicism offers a valuable perspective, teaching us to expand our view beyond our own points of view and consider life in different ways. One of the most liberating lessons of Stoicism is the ability to choose not to express our opinion, to shield ourselves from the dictatorship of response. We are often confronted with giving our opinion on topics that circulate on the internet. What do you think about the artist who played at Super Bowl? What's your take on the most important topic of the week? Stoicism teaches us a powerful alternative: silence or the conscious choice not to form an opinion on these matters. As Emperor Marcus Aurelius reminds us in Meditations, every minute spent on others' lives is a minute less for our own life and moral development. This philosophy applies not just to superficial debates, but also to interactions within our closer circle of acquaintances. That is, every time you unsolicitedly opine about your brother's life, the car your neighbor bought, which, in your opinion, should have been a different color, or how your nephew is being raised. Each time we opine on others' decisions, we're engaging in a problem or situation beyond our control. Or how your nephew is being raised. Each time we opine on others' decisions, we're engaging in a problem or situation beyond our control. Stoicism invites us to focus on our own lives, suggesting that if we have extra time and energy, we should use it to assist others, not to harshly judge them. This approach not only helps us cultivate a richer and more peaceful inner life, but also teaches us to value positive action over empty criticism, fostering a supportive and mutual growth environment. When we realize we can control our opinion, we understand we can control what we say. Practice the skill of thinking absolutely nothing about a certain situation and accept the freedom that you don't need to have an opinion about everything happening around you, nor feel disturbed by these events. As Marcus Aurelius confirms, we have the power to hold no opinion about a thing and not to let our soul be disturbed by it. For things have no natural power to shape our judgments. You have now reached the halfway mark of the video. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write "mind over body" so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. Limit intruders' access. Rarely do nosy people ask if we want or need their opinions. They simply express them. They tend to speak their mind without much thought or reflection, and when confronted, justify their behavior by claiming to be sincere and honest. Victor Hugo, a French poet and novelist, once wrote, "Know that frankness does not consist in saying everything you think, but in thinking everything you are going to say." Being honest and frank has nothing to do with disrespect. Therefore, it's essential to establish clear boundaries in our relationships. Those who speak without thinking often end up saying what they shouldn't, to whom they shouldn't, at inappropriate times and places, and mainly about things they shouldn't. Passively waiting for someone to recognize and respect your personal boundaries without clearly communicating them can be an endless and unsuccessful wait. It's up to you to establish these boundaries politely and respectfully. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, offered wise advice that perfectly applies to situations like these. When discussing with a student who was having difficulties due to his brother's behavior, he advises, "Everything has two handles, one by which you can handle it and one by which you cannot." This means that while we might not control others' behaviors, we can choose how to respond to that behavior. When someone intrudes too much into your life, or says things they shouldn't. You can't control what that person does, but you can control how you respond. One approach could be to have a private conversation with the person, being honest and stating that you didn't like it, that you don't accept this kind of behavior because it affects your relationship and could lead to distancing from the friendship. This stance not only helps protect your personal space, but also teaches others how to interact with you in a respectful and considered manner. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and a way to cultivate healthier and more balanced relationships. We must acknowledge that there's a limit that we must endure and stay true to it. Epictetus also makes a comparison about smoke in a house, saying, "Did someone make smoke in the house? If he made a moderate amount of smoke, I stay. If it's too much, I leave." And if you act this way, this is the moment to rethink that attitude and invest your time in your development. You don't need to justify yourself. Silence carries such profound wisdom that, at times, it becomes the best response. Sometimes we feel the need to explain ourselves, whether to seek acceptance, to please, or to forge bonds with others. However, many problems in our lives are indeed caused by ourselves, by not keeping our tongue in our mouth. An example is Vanessa, who, after a period of dealing with debts and financial problems, dedicated herself to learning about financial education, managed to pay off her debts, organize her finances, and even start investing. After a month-end closure, she went out with the people who provided services and shared with colleagues that she was finally financially stable and free from debt. Things began to change for her. Over time, Vanessa realized she was being left out of new projects. Her colleagues, assuming she was in a better financial situation, began directing work opportunities that would have been for her to another person. In other words, the fact that Vanessa talked too much caused her to lose several jobs and consequently affected her newly acquired financial stability. Sometimes we want to show others how we're living, and we talk without restrictions about our financial life, our intimate life as a couple, what happens behind closed doors. We want to expose to the world how well and happy we are, or the opposite, because we're sad and dissatisfied. Without directly considering the consequences this will bring us. Epictetus said, "If you drink water, do not say on every occasion that you drink water." This means it's not necessary to talk about everything we do in life to others. The idea is that we should live simply and truthfully, without needing approval or recognition from others. In this sense, Epictetus teaches us the importance of keeping some things to ourselves and not sharing every detail of our life, showing that being discreet and keeping certain choices to ourselves can be a way to strengthen our character. You don't always need to explain your actions. Sometimes staying quiet is the best response. Neither speaking too little nor too much is ideal. Balance is key. Speaking too little can close doors, as people might think you're not interested or involved. On the other hand, speaking too much can make someone tiresome and even lead to unwanted situations, as in Vanessa's case. Therefore, finding the middle ground is crucial. It's important to know when to speak and when to maintain silence, balancing our desire to express ourselves with the wisdom of keeping certain things to ourselves. This helps us build healthy relationships and avoid unnecessary problems. Don't speak when emotional. There's a lesser-known story about Plato where, faced with a situation that made him very angry, he realized he was so emotional that he wouldn't be able to handle the problem fairly. So, he asks his servant to solve the issue. This moment shows that even a great philosopher like Plato understood the importance of controlling emotions to make the right decisions. If you don't control your silence, you'll be a slave to your words. Some people, when they feel happy, talk too much, and reveal their plans that should have been kept secret until they come to fruition, or until that moment when nothing can go wrong anymore. Or they make promises, giving their word on what they cannot fulfill. Others talk too much when they are angry, and it's in these moments that most people can't control their tongue and end up saying things that hurt. Understand, a spoken word cannot be taken back, and sometimes the wounds it causes are enormous. Even in an argument, if someone hurts you, it's better to leave the other side regretful rather than hurt, because expressing all your anger to hurt the other won't heal your wound, it will only deepen it. When you shut up and remain silent, it's important to understand that it's a valuable moment to absorb information and organize your thoughts before responding. Some experiences and feelings are meant to be processed internally, not expressed impulsively. Silence is a powerful tool. It provides space to absorb information, reflect, and organize thoughts before expressing them. Being silent allows for clearer thinking, without the distractions of the internal noise that accompanies the constant need to speak. Thus, by choosing silence in moments of strong emotion, you gain time to calmly assess the situation and respond in a more considered and effective manner. Do I really want to hurt someone I love? Will I be able to fulfill what I'm committing to do? Emotion can be considered a drug that affects our ability to reason, both in negative and positive moments. Without self-control, we wander around completely altered by our emotions and giving in to all our emotional impulses. When we practice silence, we find ways to understand our own thoughts and emotions, leading to greater personal and spiritual growth. Growing in silence using Stoicism is a journey of self-improvement that teaches us the value of keeping quiet, listening more, and deeply reflecting before acting. I confess that this is one of the most challenging Stoic practices for me, but the magnitude of the difficulty also represents the magnitude of the benefit in our lives. I have lost many things in life simply because I didn't know how to keep quiet. Therefore, I sincerely hope that this video and Stoic knowledge bring this practice into your life. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.